Yeah. Motherfuckers better know. I'm a bad Lock your windows, close your doors. Biggie Smalls. Yeah. I'm a bad girl. My man Imp left a tech and a 9 at my crib. Turned himself in, he had to do a bid. A 1 to 3, he be home the end of 93. I'm ready to get this paper, G. You with me? Motherfucking right. My pockets looking kinda tight. And I'm stressed, yo Biggie, let me get the vest. No need for that, just grab the fucking gat. The first pocket that's fat, the tech is to his back. Word is born, I'ma smoke him, yo don't fake no move. What? Treat it like boxing, stick and move, stick and move. You ain't got to explain shit. I've been robbing motherfuckers since the slave shit. With the same clip and the same 4-5, 2-point blank, a motherfucker sure to die. That's my word, nigga even try to bogart. Have his mother singing It's So Hard.
He absolutely shredded it last month. It was amazing. Please give it up for Mr. Booge.
Holy fuck. This was a fucking Klan rally. Like this goddamn white people, this is some bullshit. Racist, whites.
I walked all the way from 2nd Street, like, fast amongst all of those people. And I got tired of shit when I got over here. I didn't know what time the show started, so I was like, I had to get here on time. Because, like, you know, walking is a lot for me, because I don't even like jumping to a conclusion.
Thank you for having me. This is my very favorite living room to perform in. I love that it smells like gentrification and mustache wax.
All right, sorry. Firehouse, my bad. It's a place where people go that don't give a fuck about anything. Your life, your appearance, this fucking comedy show. They got a DJ on the roof. Take a break, bitch. Damn, I'm trying to film some shit.
Black people, they like to say, on my mama a lot. Is that right? Yes. On my mama. It's like, we lie so much that we have to verify we're telling the truth by putting the person we love the most life on the line. On my mama. Let me borrow $20, I'll pay you back. On my mama. And you can't borrow more than $20 from a black person or they lose their fucking mind. You ask for 25, they be like, nigga, what the fuck is wrong with you? My homeboy came up to me the other day and was like, hey dog, let me borrow $20. On my baby mama, I'll pay you back. I was like, hell the fuck no. Nah, don't do it. Then you tell me you wouldn't piss on that bitch if she was on fire. And you want me to get, nah, no, you're done.
But I didn't realize until he was up, and then I asked Richie, I'm like, he's like, who is this? And I was like, that's Booge. He's like, who's on the show? And I was like, oh, like I got rope-a-dope so bad. I've never seen a comic do that. That was the only time I've ever seen anyone with the confidence to come in and be like, of course.
I've seen that. And it was also Booge.
One word, how would I describe Booge?
Awesome.
Huggable. Joyous. Jolly.
Animal. Big. Like bigger than life.
And he gave me that dap. He said, nigga, don't sweat it. And he got up there and he just killed it.
All right, I'm gonna tell you a calf story since y'all so fucking, interested in it. It's like, please tell us a fucking calf story. We know it's coming.
So I dropped this guy off. He telling me all this time he had a strip club, make sure he had money in the account. I was like, all right, you taking off until you do. And then he pays me, he tips me. And he was like, hey man, you want to come inside and have some fun? Hell, motherfucker, no, I don't want to come inside and have no fun, you nasty motherfucker. You sick pervert. What kind of grown-ass man asking another grown-ass man, do you want to come inside and have some fun? Get the fuck out of my cab, you nasty bitch. That's what I should have said. I was curious.
If these new terms coming out, I wouldn't miss out on having no fun. You know, he could have had a basketball gym made out of trampolines, and I could have dunked for the very first time in my life, so I didn't even know what the fuck is fun. So I'm like,
What is fun?
He's like, oh man, it's just cocaine. I was like, oh no, I'm good. I don't do cocaine. My nostrils are too big. I do a whole 8-ball and be like, I didn't feel nothing!
Everybody's talking about the good old.
And he say, nah, you know, we get older, we laugh about it. I'm like, look, man, you know, you told on me, man, you told on me. It's like, nah, I ain't telling on you. I dry snitched on you. He asked me, did you take the weed? I said, I don't know if you took your weed, but you had some weed.
A lot of people, they get high and they catch the munchies. I already have that bitch caught and tied and bound and held in my back pocket. Help, get me out of here! Help, get me out of here! Shut up, munchies!
Admirable.
Bug.
Old school.
From down in South Phoenix all the way up to Bridget's. It had to be an hour and a half just to do some time. It felt so good to me that he took the bus there.
I drive a shitty 95 Buick, and Boogie's fat ass destroyed my car. It doesn't run anymore.
He gets in the back, and he's laid on the back like a park bench, like a fat homeless dude on the park bench. Every time I move the car, going 70 miles an hour up the highway, the car basically like wobbles as hard as it possibly can.
Literally, the side of the truck would go to the side.
Now, meanwhile, when I drive the car by myself, it looks like the car is leaning on the side. That's how big I am in the car. So to put Boog in there too, it was a nightmare. So we have our fingers crossed that we get to the next mile, which is 20 miles up the road, safely. And when we finally got there, we both got out of the car and kissed the ground and went in.
Everybody's talking about the good old days.
Sassy.
Sweet and sour in the best ways.
No bullshit. No holds barred, no filter.
Only comic who would attack me.
He will always voice his opinion.
The ultimate ball buster.
I remember the first time I ever met him, I was outside of a bar. I just went up, I was 2 behind him, I was going by Isaac Gordon, my actual name, and he looked over and said, I said, I was the guy 2 behind you. He said, I noticed, you fucking suck. And for a second I took it as a bad thing, but then he smiled, busted out laughing. And then that explains the book quite a bit.
I go around this whole state and do comedy because I don't have nothing else to do. And my friends ask me all the time, like, hey, Boog, ain't you afraid that, you know, somebody might do something to you? I was like, no. He's like, why? Because a nigga never been hung from a cactus or a palm tree.
I remember being in Prescott and I was hosting, and he got on set and the first like 4 minutes was just roasting me.
He was just improvising about this guy that had a big head.
We were both in snap battles last month, and I walked up to him and I said, you know, why not share your snaps with me, and I'll share mine with you, the ones we had on each other. Just do it for fun. And he said, okay, why don't you go first? And I said, okay. And he just sat there eating his pizza, was like, and he didn't make eye contact with me. And I said, oh, come on, man, let's hear yours. And without looking up at me, he was just eating the pizza, and he goes, I ain't got none. I didn't write shit for your ass because I knew you wouldn't get past the first round. And I was just like, oh, that's a perfect snap. Thanks, man. And that was him. He was that kind of guy.
Joyful.
Love.
Softy.
Smiley, because he was always fucking smiling.
Like, that's the only part that they could compliment me on is my smile. She ain't gonna be like, ooh, look at that gut, baby. Come home to mama.
Know about this, but we had a very close friend of ours, Big Boog, that passed away this week on Tuesday, and it was really tragic, really sudden. He was a big part of Comedy on Fire. Every time he would just waddle in here, I would give him stage time, and I loved Boog, man. Boog was a good guy. He's one of the funniest people I've ever met in town. My favorite memory of him, though, was last month at Comedy on Fire. He was trying to light the barrel that we used to have over there on fire. And all the white comics on the show were trying to do it to like crumpled up newspapers or whatever, and like they just wouldn't get lit. And he's just like, man, none of you white boys can start a fire up in this bitch. You think all that practice burning crosses would give you an advantage or something? Shit. So rest in peace, Boog. This show tonight is for you, buddy. Let's make him laugh because we all know he's up there heckling the shit out of us tonight.
They were playing R&B music, and I listened to that kind of stuff. I grew up kind of listening to it, and I was telling Boog, like, oh man, you and I should be a duet, as a joke. And he's like, you can't be into my duet. I was like, it's just two people. You can't kick me out of my duet. And it's also my idea. He's like, you don't know anything about R&B to begin with. I was like, I'll tell you that this is Casey and JoJo. He was like, what? What you know about Casey and JoJo? He got up out of his seat. And I was like, are we in that duet now? He goes, name one more R&B artist. Can't dog on Keith Sweat. He was like, yo, we're gonna do that duet. And he gave me that big Boog hug.
Every time I saw him, he'd crush me just with love.
And he'd pick me up in his arms and just hold me there.
One time he just wouldn't let go. So I felt like fucking Faye Dunaway in King Kong.
Just love me.
And I was like, you know how I know pedicures ain't gay? He's like, how? Because Jesus got a pedicure. Yep. And I'm like, I know Jesus ain't gay, so that's not gay. I don't think Jesus touches his own penis. He just opens the robe and let it flow.
Receive Jesus as your personal Lord and Savior and be born again. That's what you need tonight, my friend.
Yo,
you need to be saved.
He's got a mic,
You're
bro.
on your way to hell right now.
Tell some jokes.
You need to be saved.
No, I'm good. Like,
And
my
God
joke
will
say I'm
save
telling
you.
we're
We
going to
call
hell.
on Jesus.
Two different things right now.
Whosoever shall call
Yo, I love you,
upon the name of
Jesus.
the Lord
I'm not trying to go to
shall
hell.
be saved. Hallelujah.
And Boog asked me one night, he's like, hey, I got this thing in Yuma. It's $100. You want to do it? And I was like, yeah, totally. And the venue had this poster outside on the wall of all of us, the four of us, in a poster, and we were turned into like South Park characters. And it was the first moment in comedy where I felt this is the coolest thing that's ever happened. It wasn't the last, but it was the first. And Boog gave that to me.
I'm just about to fall asleep, and he comes in, and he jumps on the bed, and it breaks. And he rolls off the bed, and I rolled off on top of him, and when I land on him, he looks at me and goes, Rob, black folks ain't into that gay shit. And we started laughing. We spent the rest of the time just leaned up against this broken bed talking. Fuck, man. I miss him.
That person, like, even today, even yesterday, like, anytime I look on Facebook, it's just empty now because there's not that person who's giving me those ghetto highlights. Like, I miss the ghetto highlights. Like, I won't have no, like, ghetto highlights miss. Like, it was a person who would just always make you smile.
He stopped by my house last Saturday, and that was one of the things he said to me. He's like, Jules, that's why I always like seeing you. You always seem to be happy. Because he asked me, how are you, Jules? And I said, another beautiful day in paradise. And he's like, that's why I like you, Jules. And damn. I didn't think about the end of this story before I started telling it. I told him it's because I'd rather be up here doing this than down there doing that. Sorry, man. I wish I would have said something different. Thanks, Boog. It was a pleasure to meet you. It's an honor to have got to know you. And you'll be an inspiration for the rest of my life. So thank you.
The only way you can describe Marcus is just a big bundle of love. That's all I can say, man. He was a good dude, and it's an honor to have known that brother and just to be a friend of his. So, may you rest in peace, and we're gonna always love you, and I'm gonna always carry you in my heart wherever I go, man. One.
It was funny. I said, if you could just let me know you're okay. And then I checked Facebook, and somebody had put up like a GoFundMe page, and it had just hit 420 on the GoFundMe page. And I thought that was so ironic. It was such a Boog thing, It was like, that was his I'm okay, And so I don't really have anything else to say. I just loved him. I loved him, and he will be so missed.
I'm glad that even though he didn't really have a home, like, you know, maybe to live in, he had a home within Phoenix Comedy. And that was the part that like touched me the most, especially after he passed, like just seeing all the people that, you know, really just supported him and, you know, just like really showed love was like the craziest part. And I guess you never really know how loved you are until you pass, but it's crazy how loved he was in this community.
Such a good person. Never thought of himself as any better or any worse than anyone else. And he owned all that.
I learned something from him about diversity of life every time I talked to him. He had a good story and some new insight for my life, and I'll always be grateful for that.
More people should strive to be as good of a person as that guy was.
He was like the most amazing, sweet dude. Like I posted a picture on Facebook. He is standing in front of the most racist thing I have ever seen. It's some jigaboo with fucking watermelons and stuff like that, and he is given a thumbs up. That's the book. That's the book that I know. He didn't take anything seriously. He laughed. He came from a rough existence, and he was the nicest, warmest person I have ever met in my entire life. So, we miss you, Boog. I miss you. Fucking amazing man, and gone too soon.
In our lives, we meet people that are shitty and they fuck us over and they're just not cool. And when you meet somebody that is not like that, is built, made from a different cloth, you kind of hold on to them. And I want you to know that as a person, when you meet somebody like that, you just want to hold on to them, and you can't believe that there ever is going to be a day that they're not here. And when I found out that he had passed away, it broke my heart because he was always so cool to me. And so I always remember him. And I think what the lesson I learned as a couple is that, don't be mean, just love people. And that, and you just gotta live every day fully. So could you please make some noise for Marcus? Please just let him hear you.
All these games are going on at this time. You know, tip cup, beer pong. And it's like, hey man, come play beer pong with us. I was like, cool, no problem. Then they found out my eye-hand coordination is not like a regular black person eye-hand coordination. And they stopped fucking with me with beer pong. But I still had a good time. Because I got to see white people do a keg stand. I was like, this shit is crazy. They over there pumping and counting. It was like, hey, Bug, you want to do a keg stand? I'm like, hell no. Don't do no goddamn keg stand. You got me fucked up. You're next. Who doing steroids? Who the fuck gonna lift me up? Do y'all got a crane in the back? Like, why is this happening? I ain't doing no fucking keg stand. You get me fucked up? You stupid. I ain't doing no keg stand. So I'm doing this keg stand, right? And normally you're supposed to be at a 90-degree angle. I was at a 45. So that shit counted. And for every motherfucker that never thought they would use that in their regular life, I done brought that to your fucking reality, so you're welcome. So I'm doing this keg stand, right? And they pump in, and they, counting. It was confusing, beers coming out my nose. Shit was awful. I lasted for 9 seconds. That's all I could do. And then so when I was done, this little lesbian chick, shaved head, tatted up, muscle shirt on, she get on there, this little bitch starts showing off. Like she doing like sit-ups, push-ups, I don't know, pull-ups, whatever you want to call on the keg stand. She going up and down, she's counting. They did 35 and she did like a backwards somersault tuck. It was like, what you gonna do, big man? I did 35. You only did 9. You a bitch. When she robbed me, she burped. And when she burped, all I can smell is corn chips, pickles, and pussy. I was like, what the fuck is that? This is awful. Boog. I appreciate y'all.